Hello, welcome to studentlearning.in, your e-learning buddy.
Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video we saw how to write a very simple hello world program in Python. And today we're going to be looking at two things: how to write comments and what are comments, and variables, which is a very important topic and it's the basis of every programming file or anything from here on. So let's see what comments and variables are. What is a comment? Well, as the name suggests, it is a comment. And why do we use comments in programming? And how do we use them? Okay, so let's take our previous program that we had. We wrote print hello world, right? Okay, so now a comment starts with a hashtag and say this is a comment. Now what this comment is for personal reference. It's to say what code is where. So let's see if I can find an example. Let's say you're writing a code that has like 200 lines. You don't want to hunt for that exact, and you want to edit some part of that code. So you don't want to go on hunting through the whole file for that. So if you have a comment over there, it's good for personal reference, that you can find find a piece of code very easily, and then you can edit it whenever you want. Since this only has like one line, we don't really need a comment, but it's helpful to know. And comments are not processed by the compiler. So anything that starts with a hashtag is ignored by the compiler. Let's see another example. This is a multi-line comment. I can. Okay, so this is the same thing as the first one, but it's just that you can write comments in multiple lines. So if you want to describe a piece of code for further reference, or if you're sharing code with someone else and you want them to know what this part of the code does, you can write a comment. So let's see. Let's try writing a helpful comment this time. I'm gonna say this piece of code prints hello world onto the screen. Okay, now let's save that and test it. And there you go. So obviously the comments are not going to be printed on the screen. As I said, they're not processed by the compiler. It's just for personal reference. Now let's move on to variables. Variables are basically abstract letters that store values. So let's say you want the variable a to have value of 5. How would you do that? A equals to 5, and it's the same thing in Python. A equals to 5. So a here is the variable and it has the value 5. Let's declare another variable. Let's say b equals to 7. And if you want to add both of them, there are two ways to do that. You can either declare another variable c, which is the sum of a plus b, or you could directly print onto the screen what the value of a plus b is, depending on what kind of code you're writing. And for this one, we want to print the sum of a plus b. So again, there are two ways to do it. Print, as I said, a plus b. We could directly print the sum of a and b onto the screen, or we could store the value of the value of a plus b into another variable and then print it onto the screen. And obviously they both are going to give the same output, so 12 as expected. Now let's write a comment here. Okay, this above line prints the sum directly onto the screen. The value is stored in C. So yeah, this is how you can document your code with comments. And let's see some other kind of variables that can exist. Now a is an integer. Here the type of this, we'll get into types later, but the type of this variable now is an integer because 5 is an integer, it's a number. So let's try strings. Strings are basically sentences, or a collection of characters. So if I say and you can give them any name you want. So let's say my string equals hello world. And then if I want to print hello world on the screen, I can do what we did last time. Basically, we can just directly print hello world onto the screen, or we can print the value of my string, which is hello world. Print, I'm sorry, my string. Here we don't need double quotes because it's already a string and the compiler can understand that. So if I say print my string, this should also print hello world onto the screen, and there you go, it does. Now let's see what to do if we have another string, like let's say my string 2 equals this is another string, and this \n is basically a new line character. It means that once you've finished this string here, go to next line. That's what it says. So now here's what we can do. We can print my string plus my string 2. We can add strings. By that I mean we can put two strings together in one sentence, and we can do that using the plus operator. We'll get into operators and types later on, but for now this is a fun thing to do, so let's try it. I'm going to remove the new line. I want to put them in the same sentence, so here, and let's see what happens. There you go. So now if we really want them in a new line, we can change that up and say and it can print, and then it's going to print in another line. Well, so we have covered variables and comments, and so let's document the string. The above code concatenates. Concatenate is the word used for adding strings in programming, so get used to remembering that word. Concatenates two strings, my string and my string 2. And obviously the comments are not going to be processed with the compiler, and I'll see you in the next class.
Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your questions in the comment section down below, and do like, share and subscribe to Student Learning. Have a good day.